Tell me what's good, tell me what's nice. Keeping it cool, keeping it calm, keeping it light. Time to rejoice. What's good, what's good, what's good with John and Joyce.
Welcome back. Here we are.
All right,
here
Joyce.
with John and Joyce.
We
and-
are-
Right, sorry.
Oh, we are back. We had
By
some
popular demand, they
the
brought
last
me
episode
back
with Michael.
in the same shirt.
I'm in this.
It's amazing how we all have the same clothes, the same sneakers, Wow. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors. Woodwinds Wedding and Special Events Venue and Silvio Sauces, thewoodwinds.com. Ascend Bank. They don't just see your accounts, they see your vision and ambitions. Ascend.bank. Moonshots, a vegan-based company that delivers the highest quality organic juices, coffee, bowls, and so much more. DrinkMoonshots.com. Linda Toscano of Caldwell Banker Realty in Guilford, Connecticut. With over 17 years of experience, Linda is known for her authentic, client-focused approach and expert guidance for buyers and sellers. Now, if you're thinking about making a move, Linda Toscano is someone you can trust. We're deeply grateful to all of our sponsors for their support and for partnering with us to uplift and enrich the lives of our listeners and viewers. Well,
Part
Michael,
two.
welcome back to part 2 of our second half hour with you. We might have to have a third or fourth. I love this guy's energy.
We're going to go to Colorado next time.
We are
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain High. Welcome back. Welcome back to What's Good with John and Joyce with Michael Buckley.
Do I see that you put on that you're retired? Or do you mean retired from what the buck?
I'm a retired YouTuber. Yes.
Retired
I still-
YouTuber,
I work
okay.
every day, normal people hours. Yeah. I'm very lucky.
So what-
That's a woman, Amanda Tweeten. Shout out to Amanda if she's listening to this. She and her partner Stephanie Harris run this amazing company called Arrow Senior Living. And back in January of 2018, Amanda, knowing me from YouTube and knowing that I was in coaching now, hired me to coach her as the chief operating officer of this company. And she very casually also said, I have a company. Would you like to do a group coaching session? So I get on this call. I'm all dressed up in a suit, trying to look like a person of, I know what I'm talking about. I ramble for an hour about how to show up at work with the right deliberate mindset and blah, 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 blah. I mean, I could have done this talk in about 9 minutes, but I'm like, they're giving me an hour. I'll take an hour. And then at the end of this very tedious call, she says, who wants to work with Buck? And you could see everybody's face like, I'm good. Like, I've just listened to this man ramble for 60 minutes about the right sentences in your blah, blah, blah. But it was interesting because I think I worked with 4 people right away. And these were people who definitely just wished to be people-pleasing to the chief operating officer.
Oh,
And then by the
Suck up.
the end of my first year, I was working with like 19 people. And then by the end of my second year, I think I was working with 90 people. And now I've been there for
Wow.
8 years and I work with everybody
Oh my
in some
gosh.
capacity. And they call me their chief feelings officer. I teach emotional
Chief
intelligence. I do a
officer.
lot of leadership development. And it's been such a gift to get to work with this many people. And it's been the best 8 years of my life getting to do this work every day.
Michael, I love that
Me
for
too.
you. I had no idea.
I do. You hit on something that is so key in people's life, not just work life, but life at home. Emotional intelligence. Oh my! When you said that before, a lot of people are kind of like lacking that area. I know I'm guilty of that at times in certain areas of my life, but emotional intelligence is so important.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things I say in my onboarding is, they teach us math and science. They don't teach us emotional intelligence. And pretty much
Right.
80 to 90% of the problems people are having at work are emotional intelligence problems. They're not.
you're right.
They
Yes,
have
exactly.
skills, they have knowledge, but they can't give feedback. They can't take feedback well. Everything's an attack. And so we really work on that a lot. And again, it's interesting about social awareness too, because we think we're so self-aware and socially aware, and then we're always having the exact same conversation with our partner, with our colleagues. And so
Groundhog
yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
Groundhog
And so
Day.
I'm grateful
yeah.
that we get to do this work with so many people. And it makes me better, right? Because if I'm doing this work all day, every day with others, that is nothing but a luxury, a privilege, a gift, an invitation for me to be better with them and for them. So yeah, I love it.
So do they meet with you before they go to HR to complain? Like, are you the mediator
Sometimes
kind
I
of?
jokingly say, if it's racism, sexism, homophobia, please go to HR. But if you're just not getting along
Okay,
with
yeah.
someone, I could probably help you with that. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm meant to be
Wow.
a resource, a sense of support. And I love it because I'm not the boss. I don't have a horse in the race. My role is to love them, to care for them, to cheer for them. And I hope they hit all their business objectives. But if they don't, I'm just there to be of support. And I say, whether you're working here for another day, another month, or the rest of your career, I want you to get as much out of this as you can.
And I think the whole key is just to focus on, today, because tomorrow is not even guaranteed to any of us. We focus on being the best who we are today. But let me ask you this, Michael. What drives you each and every day? What is a typical day like for you at this stage of your life?
I mean, I wake up, I make my bed first thing. I love to make my bed.
They
Yes,
teach you. They
that's
teach you that in the
important.
military. They
I'm
teach
in
you that in the
very
military.
good habits. I think very successful people are
Yeah.
in very good habits. I have good morning routine. I
Yes.
have good evening routine. I have good midday routine. So every morning I wake up. I'm grateful right away. I actually have to do no mental gymnastics. I wake up with zero anxiety or dread. I'm never talking myself out of getting out of bed. I am not lying that I wake up very happy and very joyful and very excited for the day ahead. I exercise every morning. I do the same devotional every morning. It's called Jesus Calling, and I've been writing in that.
Yes,
I
I
have
have
Jesus-
that. We
I've
do
had that.
every
I have
morning.
Jesus Calling,
Yes.
and I have Jesus Listens. And
Yes.
it's amazing to write in it because then I can see where I was at years prior.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's
And every
great.
day I
That's
journal. I write down what I'm grateful
Yeah.
for. I write down what I'm excited about. It says the podcast with Joyce and John. I write down my three
Wow.
primary emotions that I'm choosing for the day. I might steal some of the sentences from the devotional as my mindset. I write down my purpose every day. My purpose is to be an example of joy and possibility, a light who brings clarity and perspective. So even being on this podcast right now, that's just me living in line with my purpose.
Oh, I love
on.
that.
I just love
love
it.
that because
I love
it
it.
does take discipline, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
And I'm not naturally
Yes.
disciplined. It's interesting when I teach others about emotions, I'll give 3 examples of emotions that I'm not naturally. I'm not naturally patient. I'm not naturally compassionate. I'm not naturally disciplined. However, all 3 of those, I'm 9 out of 10 now because I practiced. I practiced.
Yeah.
I worked
and now
on
you
it.
don't. Now you're not
I got it.
practicing. Now it's just
I got
it's
it.
just natural. You just wake up with that.
Because everything, we have
Yeah.
to do things with intentionality. It's all about being intentional each and every day, and you are obviously with that. But I love the routine aspect, Joyce, and I, you do kind of the same
Yes,
thing
yeah.
with, working out. To me, it's spirit, mind, body. Spirit, mind, body. You've got to take care of all 3. They have to be in concert with each other. But waking up in the morning, gratitude is riches. Somebody told me a long time ago, Michael, that gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty.
Oh, I think
I never forgot.
This is my
It
favorite
drains you.
tattoo.
It
It
drains
might be
you.
backwards, but it says every spare
think it would.
second is an opportunity to be grateful and multiply the things you love. And that's from The Power,
Yes.
which is the second book of The Secret. So, but I
The compound effect.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm
The compound
specifically
effect.
grateful. I think when people are generically grateful, it wears off, right? If I just say, I'm grateful for my spouse, my health, my whatever, but what about my health? What about my spouse? So I think if you're listening and you're trying to do a daily gratitude practice, I think you should be as specific as possible. Like when I get done with this interview, I'm not just going to be like, this podcast, I'm going to write down in parentheses the 2 or 3 things that I particularly am grateful for.
Like I'm grateful for my co-host Joyce and her butter crunch. I'm grateful for that. Her butter crunch.
Michael, if you're not, I know you said before you went on air that you're no longer doing caffeine. Are you doing sugar? Because if you do sugar, I'm going to mail you some for when the weather gets cooler.
It's funny because I give up sweets
A little
every year
sugar.
for Lent. Not that I think that God cares about those things. I do it for me. Let's be
Right.
honest. I don't think I do it for my waistline. But I enjoy, as someone who gave up alcohol, I'm really good at giving up things. So like in 2017, I gave up fast food, diet soda, and alcohol. Of the three, guess which was the hardest?
Diet Coke. What? Yes.
If I go to the movies and I see a big soda, I'll be like,
Yeah.
like I have no craving for alcohol. I think fast food is disgusting, but I could dabble in a Diet Pepsi or something.
Oh my gosh. I just had this conversation with my son who does all kinds of athletic things to stay in shape. But his doctors have said you have to give up the Diet Pepsi because it's causing this acid reflux, and it's the hardest thing for him to give up is that diet soda.
You're better off drinking regular
That's what
soda
the
than
doctors
diet
say,
soda.
because of the aspartame and the fake sugar. So I completely agree.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but I love giving things up.
I stay away from.
And
that.
I love being healthy. I think of the longevity of my body. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm very strong. I have nothing but endurance. I mean, I spent the last 8 years too. This is interesting. When I moved here, I had not played sports since middle school. I was one of those gay kids who really loved sports, but I felt just a little too anxious or nervous. So by the time it was high school, I was done. And then I moved here. I started indoor soccer, outdoor soccer, kickball, dodgeball, volleyball, ultimate frisbee, and then even like flag football. Like I've got these 3 trophies. I was the captain of my competitive flag football team.
Bravo, yes.
And I go to these tournaments, and I'm a defensive quarterback, knew nothing about football, and that became such a huge part of my life. So again, people listening, don't be defined by what you thought you were at 20, 30. At age 42, I developed all new hobbies and interests.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that.
It really
So-
is amazing.
Was it difficult for you when you left Connecticut to move to Colorado?
Not at all. My twin sister is here.
Well, your twin
And
sisters.
so I was just ready. I was so ready. I love the idea of change. I've been self-employed since 2008. I could live anywhere. I really was living the life I grew up. I had a house in central Connecticut. My ex-husband and I had a house on Cape Cod. So that's, again, when I think about my definition of success, I was living the life that my father was living. So on paper, this is what I should be doing. And then that I was like, I don't want any of this. I don't want any of this. I don't. And so in Colorado is such a beautiful place to live. And that's another reason I'm in such good shape, because everyone's in good shape here. Everyone is hiking and biking, and, you know, it really rubbed off on me. And I think that's part of the reason I drank so much, because like I go to visit Connecticut, I'm like, everyone's just in their backyard drinking. Like it's like, and people are not as active. It's like, it's just a lot of, so I love Connecticut, but that's all we were doing.
I get it.
Happy hour. Everything's happy hour.
I get that. Well, let me just ask you a question about the altitude, because I have asthma and I kind of struggle with that. I'm afraid to even visit there, that I won't be able to breathe.
I mean, that's what they say.
Like,
and when I would visit
But
here, I would feel it, right? I'd walk up the stairs and I'd be a little winded. And then now that I live here, that's why they have the Olympic Training Center here, so you can train at altitude and get used to that. So when you go compete, you're ready for it. So
How long did it take? Well,
6 months.
probably didn't take you a long time.
But I don't use that. Bring your inhaler and come to Colorado.
bring it.
Just to go to Red Rocks alone is worth it.
I know. I would love to go to Red Rocks.
Go to Mile High and see the Broncos play. I mean,
No, the reason why I brought up, because I just saw an interview or a clip of Rod Stewart, because he was performing in Colorado, but he had the oxygen tank off to the side, and at one point they because to sing and have that pressure that you feel.
well, the football teams have that too when they play Denver. You know, and
yeah, that's
any
true.
competitive teams come in there, they have a real tough time with that altitude. It's a
Yeah.
big home field advantage for the
It's
Broncos.
funny to go to Nuggets games, and when the Celtics are playing, I'll wear a Celtics jersey because I'm a New England person.
Yeah, right.
But I'm always Patriots. But then I can't really root for the Broncos. But again, I guess I don't know. It's weird to be a sports growing up in New England and living in Denver. Yeah. What drives you both these days? You're asking me all these questions.
Wow.
John, what drives
drives
you?
us?
What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Getting up and doing the podcast, but also making a big difference in people's lives.
Yeah,
I mean,
John
each and
does
every
that.
day, I just,
Yep.
I always say, God, please put people in my path that I can be good to today. Somebody that I can just, lift up with a kind word, buy them a cup of coffee. That drives me to no end at the moment.
Yeah.
There's so many people are so unhappy, Michael. They're going through life. They're just kind of like sleepwalking through life. No joy, no passion, getting beaten up by people at work, being beaten up in their relationships. And if we could make a big difference in their life for just 5 or 10 minutes, it can change the whole trajectory of their life. That drives me.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Joyce,
Yes.
what's driving you these
Yes.
days?
Well, I get up in the morning and I take care of my family. I have two that are disabled that I take care of. So that drives me to make their world better. And I have a couple of companies that I work with that I help their businesses grow, or I help them social media, whatever. And I love this chapter of my life with John, because John and I met at WPLR, where we worked back in '83.
Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s.
Way back.
And so we've been, friendly. We've been in each other's lives for a long time. So doing this is just like so beautiful to me. It's just, it's my peace. It centers me. Thinking about you coming on the show, I get excited like weeks before. It's a different kind of peace that I'm feeling with this. I feel like we're bringing things to people that we have talked about. When John and I would talk at a coffee shop, it was always about praying for people and the people we know that were important in our lives. And now we can share some of our wisdom also, going through things that we've lived and bringing someone like you on. That is so inspiring, really, what you went through, how you developed a really public persona online. And when no one else was really doing that, and the passion you put into it and the work you put into it, and now look at the people you're helping. Well, let me ask you this. Are you still doing personal coaching with people?
No, because I really don't have time. I'm on calls
You have
all
time,
day, every
yeah.
day, so I have to be very mindful of my battery and my capacity.
Right.
And I also just love giving my full
that's a good
attention to
thing.
Aero Senior Living, because then they got it. I've gone all in with them, and they've gone all in with me, and so that's where my focus is. But I wanted to just say, I love what John said, because about, when I started What the Buck, or when I was on the public access studio, I said, I didn't know if 12 people are watching or 12,000 people are watching, but I simply hope that someone is enjoying this. And I think for you guys and your podcast, if one person is listening and gets a little inspiration, or even not inspiration, encouragement, then it's a successful endeavor. And I think, John, when you say there's a lot of unhappy people out there, I think not that anyone's asking me for advice, but if they could just be of service or be of value, there goes their happiness up a little bit. I think we're trying so hard to be happy, which is such an American thing, right? I think, unfortunately, Americans are brainwashed to have a premium on happiness. If they had said life, liberty, and pursuit of compassion, life, liberty, and pursuit of patience, we would value that. But because they just told us we have the right to be happy, we make it so much more important than it is. Like when someone asks me, am I happy? I'm like, I don't think about it. I'm very joyful. I'm very grateful, but I'm not overly obsessed with the idea happiness, because all the new studies teach about well-being, right? It's like, it's not about positive emotions. It could be, relationships, or it could be having a life of meaning, like or it could be success and achievement. Like some people are wired for that. So when we're all worried about everybody's happiness, it's more like, what does well-being look like to you? Like I said, a life well lived. So if people are listening, I would encourage them not to be obsessed with happiness, but just, again, well-being. And whatever that looks like is different for John, is different for Joyce, is different for me.
Well, that's it. That's it. You said it. It's well-being.
Well-being is true, because happiness ebbs and flows, like you were saying before. It's a roller coaster.
Right.
But just go out there and be an encourager.
Yeah.
Go out there, and if you're having a really tough day, go out there and do something good for somebody else. You elevate them, you elevate yourself.
So, but you're exercising also. Don't I see
I
you
exercise
like
a lot, yes.
pictures, everything? I mean, you're going to a gym
No,
and
I have
working
a
out?
home gym. I have a treadmill, and I do, when I used to go to the gym, I would do a program called Les Mills, not sponsored, and it's Australian, and it's strength training and core training, and I didn't like doing it with other people as much as I like just having the video on here. So I bought all that equipment.
Right.
It's also easier for me just to get out of bed and just do it. There are seasons of my life when I loved going to the gym. I would do Orange Theory, or I loved group fitness. And I might, when I'm 60, in 10 years, I might change my mind. But for this season, for this chapter, I love working out at home. Like, I'll be watching basketball in an hour, and I'll just be lifting weights and watching basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's what people need to do more. Even if they have trouble walking, you could sit in a chair and do, some upper body.
You really need to take care of the temple, because God gave us this magnificent body to be able to go out there and use. And it's the old adage, if you don't use it, you lose it. And you don't realize how important health is until later on in life, especially. So take care of it, get up, and like you said, just walk. Just move. Get off the couch. But I like to get up first thing in the morning, do my prayerful work, and do Tai Chi. I do Tai Chi for a half hour, 45 minutes, meditation and motion, yoga, Pilates. I do strength training 5 or 6 days a week. Really, really good with nutrition. I intermittent fast.
Do too. I love that.
I fast. I love fasting. Matter of fact, I'm in the midst of a 24-hour fast right now as we speak. And it just is so healing for the body. It really is.
Michael, did you just say you love fasting?
He fasts too, yeah.
Oh. Do you have certain days?
I just
that
do
you it,
I
or-
stop eating by 7 p.m. and then I don't eat again until 11
Right,
a.m.
intermittent fasting.
Right.
Yeah,
Sleep
yeah.
better.
Yep.
Yeah, that really does reset the body.
And the
doesn't
thing
it?
is, I'll do a 72-hour fast maybe once every month and a half, and it's like rebuilding your immune system. It's autophagy. So it's like having a vacuum cleaner put in your body and eating up all the bad cells and just recreating a whole new body, immune system. It's amazing.
I love that. No,
Yeah.
I try and encourage people, even and I never loved exercise till I was like early 40s. So I made it through those first couple years, just having a good metabolism and being relatively in shape. And so it's fascinating to me how much I enjoy exercise as just, again, for my well-being, for my emotional health, for my physical health. I'm not trying to lose 20 pounds. I'm not trying to whatever.
Right.
Like I really just want to be in
right.
the best shape of my life. Like every year when I write down my goals, it says be in the best shape of your life. And I'm there. Like, I could be in better, but I'm good. Like, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But all the thing is, I always tell people, is we could all drop dead tomorrow and none of this mattered. So if we're not living a life well lived, what are we doing? If we're working 8 to 12 hours and you're not loving it, it seems like a big waste of time. Life is not something that we're supposed to get through. Like all these weekend warriors, like when people are like, it's Wednesday, it's almost the weekend. I'm like, but what if I get hit by a bus on Thursday? Am I waiting for the weekend to enjoy myself? I'm not waiting for the weekend. All these burned out people who are waiting till September to go on vacation. I'm like, you're going to drop dead in August, but you're waiting to go on vacation. So I just think we have to remind people we're built for joy. We are built for joy. Yeah. We're not built for stress and anxiety. We're built for joy.
And so many people are living for the weekend. And how many times do you say to people, that's why we don't say it. We say, what's good? when we meet
Yeah.
people. What's good today forces them to rewire their brain to what's good, as opposed to, well, how you doing today? Oh,
Fine,
same old,
or,
same
yeah,
old. Another
busy.
day, another dollar.
Right.
You hear that all the time.
Another day, another dollar.
You hear that, another day, another dollar. But when we say what's good today, tell me something
Yeah.
good.
They
Something-
they have to stop in their tracks. It's
Right, they
like
do.
what? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to ask
yeah.
1 through 10
Let
questions.
me think about
1
this.
through 10, how's your day? 7. What would make it a 10? Cool, good to know. But I like to ask a 1 through 10
I like
question.
that.
It's
I
better
like
than
that.
asking how
That
are
is
you, because
nice,
how are
yeah.
you is you're gonna get fine versus 1 through 10. How's life right now? 9.5, 10.
Right.
Living the dream.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Michael, what advice would you give us for the title of the, of this show that would be clickbait?
Nice question. I
Oh,
like
that's
that.
amazing. You're putting me on
The
spot.
inventor of
Yes,
clickbait.
yes,
I love it.
Yes. This
How would you come
a-hole
up
except invented clickbait. What's good? No. I'll think about it. There's got to be a good title.
Yeah.
What's good with what the
Right.
I don't know.
Because every when you were doing it, people did. I don't think their attention spans were this short because it's just coming at you.
Yes.
If you go on YouTube, things keep popping up. I go to look at one thing, and then I'm looking at the third one down, and then I've actually turned off my phone, thinking, "Oh my God, I didn't look at what I wanted to look at."
Wild.
So it's wild. It's the wild, wild west. Crazy
And that's
out
why
there
I'm
now.
lucky I got in early and got out early. Because, when I was
Yeah.
a top 10
Yeah.
YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers, there weren't many people doing this, And that's where I
Right.
think around 2013, I started getting just like irritated by all of it. And I felt like I jokingly said I was going to a liberal arts college and suddenly I'm at UMass Amherst. I'm like, I didn't want this. Like, I wanted a smaller college experience.
Right.
So like the internet was so small and niche and delightful. I remember the day all the celebrities joined Twitter and we were all like, F. Like, no, it was so fun until they got here.
Yeah, right.
Now, Michael, what is your advice for us? You got out back about 2009, 10. We're in this business in 2026, and it's crowded out there. There's podcasts everywhere. What would be your advice for Joyce and I? Because we just feel that there's so much negativity out there.
Yeah.
And they say good news doesn't sell. I don't necessarily buy
No,
that.
my algorithm these days is such good news. I mean, you see those news Instagrams where they're just sharing like the blind kid is seeing or the kid is getting the hearing aids
yeah.
or I'm seeing all that, and that's
Right.
exactly the
Me
content
too. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
internet wants. I think my advice to anybody who wants to, again, you're not going to be pleasing to everybody. That can't be the goal. And it's almost
Right,
like
right.
writing a book. You're writing a book to your ideal reader. It's one person, it's one
Yeah.
listener. And the thing is, it's you because you're making content that you need to hear and you want to hear. And so, and you've got to keep putting it out there. You've got to be consistent. You can't be discouraged by low view counts because you could have a viral one tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And
it
the
could
goal
take
isn't
off.
to go
Yeah.
viral. The goal is to build a steady, engaged audience who wants to participate and leave comments and share. And that's something that I always remind people, you have to be very direct with the audience and do the call to action. Subscribe, share, tell your friends,
Right.
it's not doing
Right.
us any good. Just share this with people.
Right.
And just enjoy the getting better. Like it's like any art form, right? It's like you'll look back at your first episodes and you might cringe and you'll enjoy the getting better, And the cross promotion thing is
Yeah, with-
important. You have to find other people who have podcasts who are
Yeah.
willing to have you
There you
on
go.
too. And that's how
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
because, from What's Good podcast, and we're from this podcast. And a lot of times people will hire a podcasting marketing company, and that's exactly what you'll pay them to do, which is get you on other podcasts. So at some point you might want to do that.
Right.
That's a
Right.
great piece of advice because the gentleman who does our marketing, one of the gentlemen told us right in the beginning, I said, what do we need to know about being successful with a podcast? He says the most important thing is to be consistent. Like you said, be disciplined, get the content out there each and every day because that even trumps talent in so many ways. Just getting the message out and do something every single day to moving forward, because most people lose their motivation.
Yes, and if the audience
Did you
doesn't
do-
know when
did-
you're going to post next, why would they follow you? If they know you're going to post every day at 4 p.m. or 6 p.m., they build up that expectancy, and then they build it
Right,
into their
right.
routine. I don't like following someone if I don't know if they're going to post 3 weeks from now, tomorrow. There is something about, for your own discipline, but also for your audience expectation, that you are posting regularly and consistently.
Yeah. Well, we post our show once a week, but we have clips running all week
Yeah,
long.
and that's how
So
you'll get
stories,
new eyeballs, too.
reels.
People who don't want to listen to 60 minutes,
Yeah.
but they might just get that little 1 minute,
Right,
30
right,
second.
right.
Oh, who are these two? I'd like to invest more time
Yeah.
in them in the future.
Right.
Wow, that's great.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael,
Thank
you have been fabulous. You know, we really have.
Well, I enjoy talking about myself, John. Let's be honest.
Right.
Like any internet creator, I love the sound of my own voice.
Well, I can't wait to do a remote podcast from Michael's house in Colorado.
Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah, we're coming. Yes. Yeah. I'll bring my inhaler. I'll come.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Oh,
I
thank
appreciate you
you.
having me. Nice to take a trip down memory lane
Yes.
and talk about these things. And
Yeah.
Thank you for all the
Well,
good
Michael,
you're
many,
bringing
many
to the
blessings
world.
to you. And thank you for all the good you've done and
Thank you,
continue
Michael.
to do, Michael.
We love you.
Love you. And thank you for tuning in to What's Good with John and Joyce. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and like it and tell all your friends about it. We're on all the platforms. We appreciate you. Until next time, God bless.
Bye for now.
Bye.
We love you.
Hey, I heard you got engaged. Congratulations. Now it's time to book the DJ. And that's where we come in. I'm John Cadillac Seville with John Seville Entertainment, Wedding Wire, and the Knot 2026 Couples Choice Awards winner. You can call me directly if you like at 203-988-0658. We'll set up your free consultation. Or go to johncaddyman.com. That's 203-988-0658 or johncaddyman.com. We offer excellence, peace of mind, and a great time for all. John Seville Entertainment, a name you know and can trust.